In this video, we are going to go on a long run, first and foremost. We're also going to prove to you that I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to running nutrition or pre-run warm-up or stretching. So let's go! All right, this guy right here has no idea what he's talking about when it comes to running nutrition, but I'm going to go over a couple of the details with you in this video. How many carbs do you need in a day? I have no idea. I'm about to Google it. I track some of my macros with the MyFitnessPal. For a regular adult person, probably need between 200 and 300 grams of carbs a day. How do you get those? I've got no idea. I'm trying to stick away from the sugar. According to my doctor, my sugar has gone up recently. Everything else looks good. But if you're a runner like me and you're trying to train for a marathon, probably going to need more than a regular adult. 300 to 600 is how many I need. Probably closer to the 600 later on in training. A banana only has 27 grams of carbs. That's not a lot of carbs. You're going to need a lot of bananas. According to the internet, if you eat too many bananas, you could die if you're a non-healthy adult. But here's I'm going to stick away from gels in this video. Here's the nutrition that I use as far as liquids go, what I add to water. We've got the Liquid IV and the Propel. Those are just electrolytes. Those don't really provide carbs. I add these probably once a day to a water bottle. Either one of these. The Propel is less expensive. And then the Liquid IV is, don't drop that, a little bit more expensive. Not a whole lot of carbs, but plenty of electrolytes. Makes you feel good, especially if you live in North Alabama. It's very humid here. You're going to sweat, even if you're not working out. Then we've got something I was influenced to buy. That's Sport Drink. It's supposed to be like a healthy option or stripped down, carbohydrate drink. Not a lot of carbs, very low on sugar, natural ingredients. The flavoring is very natural, and you can taste that. It doesn't taste bad. It just, if you're used to Gatorade, like this OG Gatorade right here, then it's not as good. OG Gatorade is horrible for you if you're like me and you're trying to watch your sugar, because there is a crap load of sugar in Gatorade, but it is high carb. It is plenty of calories, so it's a good option for training. It's just a lot of sugar. Then we have G1M Sport. If I have to hear one more influencer say I'm putting 2 scoops of G1M Sport in my water bottle, I will throw up. However, this is a good product according to the nutritional facts here. Very high on carbs and low on sugar, good amount of calories. I think it's a great training option. It's just very expensive. It's triple the amount of that same Gatorade tub right there. So that's what I'm using. I also have these as options. That's just Gatorade Zero or low sugar Gatorade. I've got 2 little kids and a little 5-year-old boy who loves drinking Gatorade. Probably has one a day. These are decent options as opposed to regular Gatorade. I think the low sugar one's better for you than this Gatorade Zero, because this Gatorade Zero has the other sweetening options that aren't on the label. So, but they're all right. No carbs in those. All right, pre-run stretching. These are reverse lunges. I am doing these incorrectly. I should be holding this for longer. So I'm going to go back to the app that I'm using, which is the Runna coaching app that's giving me my pre-run stretching activation routine. This is a flow through. I'm doing this wrong, but close enough. Then the side lunge as a stretch, I'm doing this correctly. I am impressed with my current mobility as a 41-year-old. I'm going to get there, though. This is going to look better later on in training. A little side twisty here, get my abs activated. And then we're going to do the knee holding, and let's see if I can hold my balance on the... Nope. Oh, no, I cannot. Not a crane. But going to get activated for this run. Get out there. Good morning, everybody. It is Sunday, Father's Day, June 21st, I believe. And I'm getting my long run in. I'm doing 10 miles today. My coach actually called for me to do 6.5. It is a recovery week, but I kind of beefed it up a little bit. I'm still taking it easy, but 10 sounded better to me on a Sunday morning. It's, I'm marathon training. It is a gloomy morning out, and that's a good thing in summertime in Alabama because there's cloud cover and it's not very hot. It's pretty cool right now. My training this week has been, not a lot of volume in miles. I have had 2 speed workouts. The first one was broken miles, which is typically, it was a short workout, so about a mile warm up, and then 2 speed miles and broken miles you're running, I believe, at like a 7:50 pace and then a 7-minute pace. The 7:50 you hold for 3/4 of a mile, and then the 7-minute pace you hold for a 1/4 mile. You do 2 of those back to back, and then a cool down mile. And the other one was rolling 4s, which was interesting. I've never done that workout, and I did all these without stopping. Some of these, prescribed rest in between sets and things like that, but I just did them all without stopping. The rolling 4s was, just one 400 at a fast pace, the other 400 at a very fast pace for me, and then you just kept doing those for about 2 miles with the warm up and a cool down. Then besides that, I did a 5-mile run yesterday. That was the longest run I've done of the week, so yeah, just 10 sounded right to me today. But it's been a good week of training. I definitely liked the decreased volume. I feel like I say this a lot on this channel, but I've had a busy week. I own a business, a restaurant, and my main front of the house manager is on vacation, which is awesome. But when he's gone, I definitely appreciate him more. Same with my chef. When she's gone, I appreciate her more because I'm having to do their jobs a little bit. So this week was complicated schedule-wise. That's a good thing. Every week's complicated. When you own a business, you're married, and you have 2 kids, that's what happens. But today, there's really no plan to this long run. I think I'm going to do 5 miles easy, and then the second 5 miles, I'm going to try to hold a 9-minute pace. So that's not a fast pace for me, but that's not dilly-dallying like I tend to do a lot on long runs, especially the second half of long runs. I do quite a bit of dilly-dallying. So I think I'm going to do just explore a little bit, go downtown and maybe over to my old neighborhood this morning, see if I can get 10 miles. I did a little bit of an intro to this video. If I did it right, I showed you a little bit about my nutrition, about the gear I'm wearing today. So my hat is the Sprints hat. That's a gift from my family, and my shorts, some Adidas. Even my socks are part of my Father's Day gift. And then I'm also breaking out the handheld for the first time. I just bought this the other day as a little Father's Day gift for myself. How I feel about carrying water on runs is, I've got a pack, I've got an ultra vest, but that thing in the summertime heats you up. I even, a couple years ago, ran 100 miles and a race, which I completed and got a belt buckle for, but I carried a bottle with me the entire time. There are a lot of aid stations. You had your own support, but I carried Gatorade with me the entire time. I just changed bottles constantly. But I didn't wear a vest then because it heats you up. So I'm going with the handhelds for this marathon training. I feel like it's practical. It has a little pocket in there. You can put some gels. Easy to clean. You don't have to hold on to it. There's a strap on your hand. So that's good. So anyways, thanks for joining me for today's run. I'll check back in with y'all later. All right, I made it to my old neighborhood. This is, ironically enough, Alabama Street in Alabama. But that was the house that I lived in when I first moved back to Huntsville, because I moved away for a while to go to school and stuff and work. But when I first moved back to Huntsville, I moved on to Alabama Street. I had a roommate, and that house has since been renovated. It looks great. They painted the outside, they added a bathroom inside. But one thing about this house, And that was me and my wife's first house that we lived in when we first got married, before we bought our first home. But one thing about this neighborhood, as I'm running through it, I remember I had like a perfect 5K route in this neighborhood, and I had a perfect 5 mile, like I could get any mile distance, you know, running loops around this neighborhood. And it's funny how you develop that over time. In my current neighborhood, I definitely have a like perfect 4 mile route. I can leave from my front door, I can run this loop, get back to my house. It's like 4 miles on the dot. But I'm still working on different distances to get a perfect 3 mile and 5 mile and 6 mile and whatnot. But definitely feeling all the memories in this neighborhood. This place is like a perfect central location to downtown and other parts of town. It's like, people call it the medical district. But one negative thing is you're right off a main road, and you'd get a lot of knocks on your door, and that's one thing we didn't like about where we lived in this neighborhood. Anyways, gonna finish this loop, head to downtown. All right, I'm about to hit 5 miles, and I will gear up my pace a little bit to run in a 9-minute mile for this last loop. Gonna head into downtown and then head home. It was a good run so far. Hopefully I can hold this pace, but it's no pressure. This is supposed to be an easy run. But I'm also realizing, you know, my final thought for this video is I'm realizing this is my only outdoor run of the week. This is my 6th run this weekend. I've run completely on a treadmill all week. There's been a complication of like sleeping arrangement with the children and weather, and then rotating who gets to run outside with my wife. On days where I could run outside, there would be some sort of thunderstorm or things like that. So you got to appreciate these outdoor runs and really like soak it in, especially when you have little kids and things like that, and maybe a challenging schedule. You got to do what you got to do. But I am enjoying this run. These shorts, these Adidas shorts, I like them. The phone fits in the back pocket on the tailbone. That's nice. I'm really liking this handheld. This is an 18 ouncer. I did put the Gatorade in there. That's what I chose. You know, I'm gonna mess around with the nutrition and see what works for me. I'm really trying to stick away from high sugar doctor's orders. Actually, I had a doctor's appointment this week when he's like, everything looks great, your sugar has gone up, you know, like a small decimal, so you might want to dial back on whatever you're eating or drinking that has sugar. So anyways, I'm about to dial up this run. Thank y'all for following along. Subscribe to the channel, watch the reels. Y'all have a good one.